Hello, this is Stuart Tucker, and this is a meditation for June 8th, Monday, 2020. Yesterday, 5 of us gathered in our church parking lot, setting up speakers and figuring out the physical logistics of how we could have a worship service outdoors in our parking lot. And, a lot of factors. We tried one speaker system, we tried another speaker system, we tried, being outside, we tried being inside the car. Could we understand, just how do we have a keyboard? How do we plug things in? Just the physical part of this. Just getting started on this. Have to consult with other pastors who have done this before. But questions were asked. Can we sing? No. That, breathing out, projecting would be too dangerous. Will we have bulletins? No, can't have bulletins. That would be spreading things hand. Things were going to be different. And it was disappointing. The thought that it's not going to be like it was before, back when things were normal. But it got me thinking about when you do something slightly different, when you take the familiar and change it, sometimes it impacts you in ways that you don't expect. And here's an example. Here's a familiar passage. Well, this is from the book of Romans, the 12th chapter, verses 1 and 2. I appeal to you, therefore, brothers and sisters, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. And the part of that rings the most familiar to me is, do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. Now, that familiar passage was translated by Eugene Peterson in his translation of the Bible, The Message. And here's how he puts this same phrase. This was in Needham. This was in Carter Memorial United Methodist Church, and the reading for that Sunday. And I thought, why are we doing this, modern translation? I never liked it. But then this struck me. Romans 12, verse 1 and 2, by Eugene Peterson, The Message. So here's what I want you to do, God helping you. Take your everyday, ordinary life, your sleeping, eating, going to work, walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embracing what God does for you is the best thing you can do for him. Do not be so well-adjusted that you fit into your culture without even thinking about it. And that twist on that familiar passage at the time struck me very powerfully, especially the part that says, don't be so much a part of your culture that you don't even realize it. Translated from the familiar, do not be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. So I'm looking forward to our getting together as a congregation. It's going to be different. We don't need to allow those differences to be causes of grief and disappointment. We can worship just in a different way. Maybe rather than disappointment, it'll be more impactful. And that's what it means to embrace whatever God sends you and to accept those differences as our spiritual worship, accepting what God sends to you. Well, that's my meditation for today, June 8th, 2020. Goodbye and God bless you all.